Welcome to the Love and Victory Show with Val, where we will bring you candid conversation. In each conversation, we will talk about real life ups and downs while tackling unresolved matters. We will also unmask issues and truly speak straightforward and candid about our needs and brokenness, while allowing ourselves to exhale so that we can become victorious. This is a place where you can be open to the possibilities of living life in abundance while gaining tools to become bold and complete. So let's get to it. We have amazing guests each week, and today is no exception. Join us as we change lives one conversation at a time. You know what to do. Now let's get to it. All I can tell y'all, it'd be so much going on behind the scenes when we take that quick break. I tell you, JB,
Bella just died over there.
JB, you should be in the house over here. I tell you, now we got to get this thing back on track. I hope you guys enjoyed the music, and now it's time for the conversation. Before we get going, the topic, the show title is called what? The healing we don't post. Okay, it's time for the acronym so we can get this conversation going.
This week's acronym is TRANSFORM.
Oh, it's long too.
T is for tenderness, to be gentle and kind or have a sensitivity to pain. R is for restitution, the restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner. A is for adapt, to make something suitable for a new use or purpose, to modify. N is for naivete, lack of experience.
Wait a minute, say that one again.
Naivete. This would be the word where you tell people, it's like, you're being a little bit naive. But it refers to the lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. S is for shift, a slight change in position, direction, or tendency. F is for freedom, the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. O is for observe, notice or perceive something and register it as being significant. R is for regenerate, reformed or reborn, especially in a spiritual or moral sense. And lastly is M for meditate, to think deeply or focus one's mind for a period of time. This has been our week's acronym.
All right. Then transform. I actually like that. When you first put it up, I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna read for 30 minutes here. But it really does bring everything into content. So thank you, Aaron. I really like that. And with that being said,
yeah, she reads well. So.
Yes, it don't take a long.
No. Yeah. She read like Brother Carter read the text.
That is very true. he will breeze through that word now.
Okay. Were you trying to say something to me, Aaron?
Yeah, I was just saying I matched the pacing. It's like, you know what? Like, this is a show. We got it. We're locked in. Other times it's like, we need to sit with the acronym.
That was a really good acronym. I like that. So with that being said, hopefully we can transform some of these things.
So the healing we don't post.
Yes. Come on, brother.
So I'm trying to get my mindset on how transforming coexists with the healing we don't post.
Well, I think the healing itself is a transformation.
Yeah.
And many of us, there's some healing that we need to do. Healing that we really should have done. And there's a transformation that needs to take place. I like the S in that acronym, the shift, because there's a mental shift that has to take place for you to begin your healing process, because you first have to realize that you are broken in some capacity. And then you have to reach out to individuals who are subject matter experts that can give you the tools and resources to make that shift so that you can heal.
What happens to the person, the individual that reaches out but never hear? They ask for information but never hear. They're wanting the information, but the shift never happens. Can you speak on that? Anyone can jump in on that.
Yeah, I think you have to look at the environment that you're in. Because if you're someone who lives, let's just take the inner city, for example. If you live in the inner city, we know that there are different resources that you don't have access to.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the environment in the head.
No. I mean the physical environment. Because if you're reaching out for individuals or resources and you just can't find those things, I would look at the environment that you're in. Number one, I would look at the 5 people who you closely associate with, because typically where you
are the
place
you keep.
Correct. Where you are inserted. If you look at your 5 closest friends, there are a lot of commonalities that you share, whether that is financial, educational,
smoking, drinking,
whatever those habits that you may have. A lot of that can be attributed to who you keep company with. So if you're someone who has come to yourself and you've realized that you are broken, if you can't lean on those 5 individuals first and they can't point you in the right direction, then I would look at your zip code, right? Where are you? Because someone who's in Sunnyside versus Katy, or Sunnyside versus the Woodlands, or so on and so forth, you are limited with what you have access to that you can go down the street and get. And even still, the resources and tools that you need to do the work is important to find. So look at your environment first to see if those are things that could.
But I'm going to push back, and I just jump in here. I'm going to push back just a little more.
I like when you push back.
Okay.
It's good conversation.
So when you are reaching out to a healthy source that's seeing the things that you are going through, but you're still not taking or are taking the advice, what's going on there, or what should that person that continues to talk to that person do?
The broken person is not taking the advice?
Yes.
So I think that is because the individual is used to a certain level of comfort, and it is uncomfortable to first off even reach out and have the conversation. That's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
You have to be able to admit that there is some brokenness within yourself, and there's a vulnerability that you have to be okay with reaching out to someone else. Secondarily, if there are things that they are giving you, those things may be so uncomfortable that it feels as if you are being stretched to the point of you almost breaking. From a leadership perspective, there's a analogy I always use when I'm developing leaders in the workspace. A great leader knows how to use a rubber band, right? And the rubber band being the person. If you stretch a rubber band too much, it's going to break.
Right.
But a rubber band itself is ineffective if it's not stretched. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be able to stretch to a certain point and keep things together.
Yeah.
But if you are the rubber band, the stretching itself is uncomfortable, even though that's what you are made to do. That's what you were created to do. We as individuals have the capacity to stretch beyond our comfort zone, but it is scary. It will be debilitating in so many different spaces because you have to have a certain level of vulnerability and trust in the person that you're going to. And if they say, hey, do these 5 things, those 5 things may seem like they are insurmountable, but that's the stretch.
That's why I like the A in that acronym for adapting. Too often we don't want to adapt to the changes or to our environment that we're in. We want to maintain what's comfortable, like you were saying. This is okay with me. I can do this here,
stay right
even though it's toxic.
We know what to expect.
Yes,
I know.
I still want to stay there. You don't want to adapt to you. So adapting to change is required for any one of us if we want to advance.
So then
go forward.
I like
something
that.
in life.
So then when you're sitting around and you're in that state, and please jump in, you're in that state and you're scrolling through your phone on social media, because now I'm going to bring social media, and everything that you're finding, everything that kind of is aligned with how you're thinking, which is not necessarily where you need to go. What would be your recommendation?
Turn it off.
That's a good one.
Turn it off.
Get out of social media.
It to yourself.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You're not trying to change anything. You keep adding more of the same mess.
Right. You're looking for confirmation.
Right. Yes, different confirmations to remain the way you are.
But here's the thing, that individual, I agree with you 100%, but that individual may not know that that's what they're doing, or do they know?
No.
JB,
I'm going to let you jump in a second, but I'm going to put this disclaimer out there. Most of us, the 99.9% of us people know when we're doing wrong. We know the difference between right and what's wrong. We know what we need to do to change ourselves to be better. And we know when we're doing, I want to cuss. I want to cuss to make it clear.
It's your show.
I want to cuss to make my point clear, but I'm trying to make, because I just did all that beautiful scriptures and then I don't want to add.
But they know you. But they know you.
But
we got you, Brother Carter.
I know. So
they so petty this morning. No, they didn't put the beef on you.
So you know, I'm gonna use it like this. You know, if you're overweight, you know you're overweight. You don't need nobody to tell you you're overweight. You know, if you cuss too much or drink too much or smoke too much or whatever the case may be, you know these things. You don't need nobody to tell you that this is what you're doing that's wrong, because the individual already know it's wrong. So we have the ability to make changes, I believe, within ourselves if we want to do it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%.
And I'm not saying that, you know, mental challenges is that word are not there. I'm not saying it's not there, but I'm also saying that you do have the ability, even though there are some challenges there, that you can adapt to something new, a new environment.
Okay, jump in. Anyone else?
It gets complicated sometimes. I think I have a friend. She has asked me for my therapist phone number probably 10 times over the last 5 or 6 years. And she's never gone. She's never called to make an appointment. She keeps, stewing in a bad situation, and she doesn't feel good about what's happening in her life. But I can see from my perspective that for her to get her mental health where it needs to be and make the changes that she needs to make in her life, it's going to involve a divorce. It's going to involve moving. It's going to involve like putting her teenage daughter through all of this family challenge. And that on paper is the right answer, right? But when you're in the middle of that, like that's a really hard thing to do, even if it's the right thing for you, because there's other people involved and it's going to, it's scary. It's terrifying. Right.
And if there's not other people there, then it's even more scarier when it's just you by yourself with that same, if you take that same logic. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It depends on how you view it. If you view a pill being this big, it's just that big. But if you view the pill being this big to swallow, then it become a huge
too much
adapt to make in your life, like
you'll never make the jump.
Go ahead. That's real
scary out there.
I think what you initially said, so tying this back into the social media component, we have been conditioned now, many of us, to go to social media and we use it as a comparative tool to see where we should be in our life, financially, check to see how, because back in the day when social media first started, it was, well, how many friends do you have?
Yes.
I got 2,000 friends. Oh, I got 5,000 friends. And then they shifted the language from friend to,
I thought I was blowing up the internet. I had 99 people. Girl, I'm blowing up.
You got two pictures.
What'd you say? What'd you say? I'm going viral.
Man. Shit, I got 99 people, man.
Viral with that 99. Yeah. So when it started, it was friends, and then it shifted to followers, right? And now you have a subscription situation with a lot of people. So we have a habit that has been created, whether it be by the algorithm, whether it be, fear of missing out. We see someone's page, we see the highlights that they are posting of their life, because very rarely do we see individuals post genuine failures or genuine obstacles that they have to overcome. We really only see the highlights, and we take that and then we compare it to our life. Well, this person has 5,000 followers. I only got 99. What am I doing wrong? This person has.
Hey, my 99 is 5,000. Right. What you talking about?
But you are healed enough to not make that comparison. The average person is going to compare.
Yes.
And then still, this person has this vehicle, they have this house that we see, they have this what appears to be a happy family. How can I get all of those things? Because I would like to post as my highlight as well, but it appears that there's a certain level of happiness that comes with these things. And your point was very good.
So people comparing themselves?
100%. Yes, so that's why the first thing you should do is cut that off.
Yes.
Oh my.
The first thing you should do is cut that off. And then when you cut it off, we as individuals have a problem, I feel, with being alone and sitting in our brokenness and then working towards a certain level of healing outside of social media.
Now, Adonis, let me ask this question. Now, when you compare yourself to others, haven't you already defeated yourself?
I agree.
Because there's always going to be someone better. There's going to be someone better looking, who don't have more money. They're going to have more. It's always going to be somebody.
But you're speaking from a logical standpoint. But you have to remember that a person that is doing that, and please, help me here. I don't think that they're in a person that compares themselves to someone and measures their wealth or their self-worth by what someone else's standard is not in a healthy place in the first place.
But I think we're comparing the wrong thing. Yeah. We have no idea of what the process is. If I were to compare myself to JB is an author. He is a phenomenal husband. He's a rapper. He has the ability to do a lot of things creatively that I could compare myself to. I can write a book. I can do all those things, right? But the process that it took for JB to get to that end result, that's what I should be comparing myself to.
That's what you should be looking
at. What did it take for JB to get to his first book? What journey did he have to go through to get to his first book? Now ask yourself, are you willing to take that same journey? Because we know what the end result's going to be. Yeah. But if you take this journey, we can go that route.
That's real good.
And a lot of us don't want to do that.
They don't put the work in. They want a shortcut. Go ahead, JB. I see you wanted to jump in here. Come on, JB.
No, I think that social media is so destructive in so many ways to our entire culture. But it's also like it hits on this. There's so many studies done on this now. It hits on this need that we all have to be part of the tribe, to be accepted, to be seen and understood. But there's such a slender aspect of yourself that you can present to the world. And I see people that post all of their problems on social media. And I think people tend to shut that off too. Like, you don't want to see any of that. So that person becomes ignored because all they ever do is post their problems. They don't post the process that they went through to overcome those things and to improve their life.
Right? That's good.
Well, so if we take that same logic that you guys are saying, and you say to individuals that have come through something, would it be that you guys are saying it may be helpful for them
to share your story? Because I can tell you from my perspective, sitting here on the Love and Victory show, and how God has used me, and I think, and my husband, to open up and be transparent, and everybody that is connected with the show to be transparent about their experience, has helped in so many ways. And we can truly see how it's resonating with other people. So if we take that same narrative, we would hope that people can be, I'm not saying tell your whole story every time you get out here, but if you look at it and you went through something and you're wanting to help other individuals, it would be helpful to kind of share a little of that journey.
It would. And I think that's the benefit that we have with social media. To JB's point, there's a desire for all of us to be connected to one another because of community.
Yes.
We want to be connected to people, not only just so we can say, hey, I know Val. Look, I rock with Val. We also want to be
dropping.
Exactly. Yeah. We also, because it feels good to say like, hey, that's my girl. Like, I rock with Val, but we also want to have that connection because I can also pick up the phone and call Val.
Yes.
I can text Val. Val can invite me over to the house. We have that connection because of community. Well, no, she has, but that's conversation. There you go. See, there we go. But I think for many of us, to your point, there are nuggets that we can take away from individuals' experience, their journey, if they share it.
If they share it.
And then diving deeper. there are a lot of us that have, let's just talk about the family, right? Yes. There are lots of individuals within our family that may be struggling with things from a health perspective. Mm-hmm. And because we don't share those things, it mm-hmm. does a disservice for the next generation that does not have
100%. And I think what keeps individuals from sharing is their own shame.
Yeah.
You know, that they've placed on themselves, when in fact, what you went through wasn't just for you, because you are connected to a whole lineage of people that are waiting on you to be transparent so that they can move through what they're going through, you know. So I'm going to ask JB, if you can. JB, we know your story. So just think about when you finally looked at that young man that was being abused, or I'm going to say, well, that young kid. That young man was still abusing himself along the way and still seeing himself as being abused. So you didn't see any value. What finally clicked for you that you said, hey, I need to do something different for me?
Well, I am so grateful that I went through all of that before social media became a big thing.
Hello.
Like, I can't imagine if my raging alcoholic days have been on Facebook. Like, that would be a very different experience for me now. But for me, it was the people that I was around. Like Adonis was saying earlier, the people that are in my circle are the ones that influenced me the most. And most of them were, you know, I surrounded myself with people who were just as miserable as I was, of people who hated their existence, and like, you know, that common bond of everything sucks. That was our lifestyle. We're going to drink our way through this and party on the weekends and wish that things were different without ever taking action. Right. But I found someone that came into my life that had a different perspective on that prompted me to try something different and change. And I quit drinking. And that was step one out of a 10,000 step journey that's got me to where I am today. Right. But I think today, it's really important for me to be very vocal to all the people in my life, because I'm in a position of influence in a number of ways. You know, I get to be on public platforms like this. I own a business. I have employees, and I have people that watch everything that I do. I have people that read my books. Like, I have an audience out there that I have the opportunity to share my experience with, and I live that. I feel like it's my responsibility for everybody that has some overlap of my life to know, you know, I've gone through a lot of hard stuff. I did a lot of horrible things that I'm ashamed of. And I have grown and changed. And mental health is a big part of my life. And if you're a part of my life in any way, you know that I'm very pro therapy. But like, even when I'm interviewing people that want to work at our vet clinic, by the end of an hour discussion, they know all about the mental health benefits and how it's changed my life, and that they have that opportunity to take part of that if they want to. And that I'm a resource for them in a number of ways outside of just giving them a job. And I feel like if everybody does that, you perhaps there's some overflow onto social media, but if people who have grown and changed and have that wisdom in their life share that publicly just as part of who they are, then everybody in the world gets impacted by that, because there's going to be enough overlap.
And I love that part, because I do think that is the connection. That's the thing. That's the community and that improvement that is going to improve what's also out there on social media. So if we're seeing people being authentic, really being who they are and sharing, and I am not saying go out there and let me make this real clear. If y'all see Lawrence or somebody in my family with me in the hospital and they're videoing me in the hospital, I did not approve that. Please say someone hacked and got into that. I think that you have to do things that you're comfortable with that can help someone else. But I think also you have to think about just putting up a plastic making things look fake, because what are you really doing with that? Right. Are you just doing that to make yourself seem better, be better, or are you doing that to help someone else?
Yeah. So JB, you said something that stuck with me. You spoke about being influenced by other people outside of yourself. And, you know, I don't want people to use that as an excuse on the Love and Victory show with Val. you know, because we all are responsible for our own decisions that we make. We are responsible for going to the bar. We are responsible for going to the club, all this stuff, and then putting ourselves, maybe we are the influencer of our environment sometimes versus other people being an influence of our
you're 100% correct.
100%.
Because I think so when we look at individuals who, just take JB for instance, when he made the decision to put down the bottle and stop drinking, the people in his environment 9 times out of 10 were still drinking.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the challenge comes when you're still in those environments. To your point, you're either going to influence those individuals to adopt your new lifestyle, or there's going to be some type of awkward
separation.
There you go. That comes into place because they know, oh no, we can't invite JB. He's not gonna want to take the shot. We're trying to celebrate. And then for that person that makes that decision, searching for another community that not only has a similar mindset, but they will also embrace this new individual coming in is important. There were communities that I was not only leading, but just a part of, that we talked about this consistently. And these communities offered spaces for individuals to be transparent, to get answers, to get directed into the right situation, whether it was you trying to, heal from this type of hurt, you were trying to start a business, you're just working on yourself. And if you don't have those, it's difficult to progress throughout your healing journey. So I think that's crucial, but it goes back to what I was saying before with the environmental piece, whether it is your physical location or the people that you surround yourself with. It's important on your healing journey.
Okay. JB, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, JB, I'm not, when I say that, I'm not calling out. I'm just taking a perspective of what you were saying.
Yes.
And giving a different perspective. Like Val say on the Love and Victory show with Val, she say, I'm a what you
push
say?
Back.
Push back on that.
Yeah. No, I get that completely, but I do think it's important to recognize that we are influenced either positively or negatively by everyone that we interact with. We either want to be like that or we want to be different than that.
Yes.
Like if you lived your life in a vacuum without any other human beings in it, like you wouldn't do any of these things, right? Because you wouldn't have examples to look at.
Okay.
So the encouraging word out of all of that is be the influencer yourself and be not influenced by others unless they're influencing you in a positive way.
In a positive way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get real. I got a question for you.
100.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get real. And since we got 3 men on the panel, I'm going to ask the question, and I need each one of you all to give your perspective. All right. What was something you had to heal from, or something you're currently healing from?
Oh my!
We're going. Well,
it's been a good show. We'll go ahead and wrap things up now.
And the reason we go out there, because men, it's very difficult sometimes for you guys to be, and at least that's the way it looks to us on the side. For you guys to be transparent, and so we know that there's some women out there that want to hear it, and some men. So I'm going to start with Flo. Okay, go ahead, Brother Carter. There you go.
I'll take it back to 1972.
Wow.
I had to be healed from prejudiceness. I grew up in an era where blacks was against whites and whites was against blacks, and looked like we're back at that same era once more and again, except for on the Love and Victory show here with Val. We have
the blacks like the whites here.
Yes, we do, for sure. Yes.
And so that was a process of seeing, going through the 60s, where things were, we were segregated, and blacks had their own school, whites had their own school, and then all of a sudden society decided that, okay, we're going to branch y'all all together. And so in the midst of branching us all together, that's trying to put a marriage together of 2 imperfect individuals, in my opinion. And so we have Val that was grown up in a household that was Loud, you the white person, okay, in this scenario.
God.
Okay, you
got a good tan.
You grew up in an environment where things were just loud and
why would laughter?
Yeah, a lot of laughter, early morning cookings, and everybody's up talking. And I came from an environment where it was more subdued. Everything was low key. Nobody, we didn't have a lot of conversations and stuff that took place in the household, and so it was very mild, and noise was distracting for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this environment of black and white, we had to learn how to coexist, but it took some time, just like a marriage takes time to coexist with two imperfect people. And so that was a healing process for me, to have to learn how to accept white people for who they were, and start adapting to that. This is life now.
Mm-hmm.
This is no more just this is us against them.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have to come to a place where we have to go to school together. We have to go walk home together the same way, even though we lived in the same neighborhood.
The cafeteria together.
Yes,
play on the same team.
Everything on the playground together.
Yeah,
and it was rough in the beginning.
Okay, so that's back then.
Yeah.
So I need
that was the heal. That was a healing I was talking about.
No, I got it. So I want something current.
No.
Yes.
We're gonna move on. Someone else. I don't want to take up the whole thing. I was just giving it.
Got some nice lights.
Yeah. Okay. No, I know.
Can come back to that later.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But I don't want to
steal the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna give other people an
Okay.
opportunity.
All right. I like that. But the reason I'm bringing that up, because I want you gentlemen, because the question was there, because you guys like to stay here, and I
just took it from the beginning. Okay. I just took it from the young lad perspective.
I know.
But I can come on up.
Okay,
I got 6 decades of having to heal and overcome some things.
Okay, Brother Carter.
Even to this day.
Okay, Brother Carter. Okay, Brother Carter. What I'm looking for, and what we really need to make sure that I'm going to go back to this question one more time. I love what you said, but I really want us to think about
what you want to hear.
Yeah.
But I know.
So.
You want to hear something else. You want to hear some juicy stuff.
No, I just want to know, is there something that you healed from, or is there something you're currently healing, or you are healing from right now? Something that in the past.
So I'll
see, I gave a pass.
Okay.
You did. Healed from. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did not have a good relationship consistently with my father. I'm not going to paint the picture that things were just horrible throughout, because there were some good seasons, some good years. There were moments when I looked to him as my role model, my hero, my buddy, all those things. And then life came quickly, and there was a shift that took place. So there were seasons in my life where I did not have a good relationship with my father. We didn't speak. We did not, we lived in the same house, didn't, communicate. We were roommates passing, in a sense. There were seasons where there was a vitriol that was created towards my father.
Say that word one more time.
Vitriol.
And what that mean?
Intense dislike.
Okay.
Dare I say hatred. And all of that went away after having one conversation. There was a season in my life when my mother was going through cancer treatment, and she and my 2 younger brothers had to live with me in my townhome. And we had a man-to-man discussion. The discussion was centered around, hey man, this is your wife and your kids. Why are they living with me?
Was it that subtle?
On my end, yes.
Okay.
It escalated as we continued the conversation, but that's how it started. So throughout the conversation, there were some insights that he finally shared. At this time, I was probably 26, 27. And
we had never. Did he tell you, boy, you sound like you're smelling yourself now?
No, because we had this conversation in my house.
Okay.
So no.
Oh, okay.
No. There was no smelling of myself because the potpourri was my choice. Okay. We had this discussion, and this was the first time that he had been transparent to share experiences that he went through that shaped how and why he made a lot of the decisions that he did, not only with the rearing of me, but how he interacted with my mother, his wife. Didn't absolve any of the issues, but perspective was gained in that conversation.
You kind of had a different lens in which
there were glasses that were placed. I said, okay, this makes sense. Your father didn't take you to school when you graduated high school and went off to college. You dropped me off and thought that you were doing an additional step. So, okay. And then we didn't have conversations after that. So I was kind of left to fend off for myself. But the healing came when there were decisions that he made that were not for the betterment of his family, from my perspective. And I forgave him for not only the abuse, neglect, and things of that nature that took place towards me specifically, but towards my other siblings. I have 2 sisters,
family at large.
Yes, my mother, my grandmother, any other individuals that he had negatively impacted directly or indirectly within the family. Forgave him for. Now, there were boundaries that were established after that conversation, but the healing came for me when I realized, okay, not only is this guy still my father, but he had a traumatic experience growing up. And out of his trauma, he acted in this way.
Okay. Okay. I like that. So you had a conversation, so you were able to just hold him accountable.
The healing come from having a conversation.
That and the perspective that was gained.
Yes. I like
it. Doesn't absolve what took place.
Right.
But I was healed enough to say, hey, this happened. I understand it now.
Yes, don't necessarily mean I agree with
100%, but I understand why you did what you did and why you think this was the best decision.
Right. Okay, JB, you want to same question?
Yeah, I had a very similar experience to AD, I think, with my dad. The difference being that my dad died before I got to have that conversation with him. He was killed in a car wreck, but my whole life, I've learned in retrospect that all of my problems can be traced all back to one source, and that's the way that I feel about myself. And the way that I feel about myself was formed and based on the relationship that I had with my parents and the beliefs that I formed about myself based on my interactions with them. And I believed from the way that my dad and my mom treated me that I was not good enough. I didn't have any value, that I was a problem. The fact that I was there was an annoyance. And I learned to hate myself and reject myself because from my perspective, I felt like that's how my parents felt about me. And, I took that from childhood into adulthood. There was no reason for me to change the way that I felt about myself just because I wasn't living there anymore. That was my foundational understanding of who I am, right? That's why I was a raging alcoholic. That's why I had incredibly inappropriate sexual behavior, despite being in a relationship with somebody. Like everything I did was an effort to feel better about who I am for a minute. And then it would revert back to the same old, right? And so when I got sober, that was step one. Like I said, as in a 10,000 step journey of me learning why I do the things I do and why I feel the way about myself and is that even true? And when I sat down with a therapist and examined these root beliefs that I have about myself and what they were formed on, I realized that most of it was from misunderstandings. I never considered for a minute that my parents were flawed human beings. Like AD's talking about, my dad had a history and he behaved the way he did because of his history, right? Same with my mom. My mom didn't put me in a trash can because she hated me. She put me in a trash can because she was dealing with a whole bunch of shit in her head that she had no tools to deal with, right? And so when I can understand all of that, and with the help of a professional, change the way that I feel about myself, that changes my whole understanding of who I've always been and who I am today.
Well,
I still deal with that, but it's, trying to overcome the triggers that have been laid on, I've got them down to a 2 instead of a 10, but they're still there because I had 40 years of training to this is how I react to things. Right.
I really
recognize it when it pop up too, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that you said that because it triggered something for me. It actually took me back to why I reacted and why I kind of was this person of, let me just go back. Sorry. My dad's side of the family, I love my family. Let me make sure that everybody here, anybody that's listening, I love my family. But I also, from my family, there was a lot of things that I learned that I'm super proud of. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of things that I experienced that formed me, that I also had to work through, that also impacts me to this day. One of the things that I think, and I don't think it's just in my family, but I think it was a cultural thing that we had, even though we seen things growing up that may have been dysfunctional, mm-hmm. we were taught, don't take our business outside of the house. Mm-hmm. Don't go discussing what's going on in the house with someone else. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that my cousin who slashed...
How you gonna not take something outside of the house when it's in your head, and when you take your whole self outside of the house, it's all right there in your head?
Right, I get that. But if for 1 second, one of the things that I discussed with my cousin who slashes my brother, growing up, there was so much that our parents, which were siblings, did not discuss. It's just, don't discuss our business. We don't talk about things. And so what that did was it left us empty, or void in our life that we didn't understand about them. Mm-hmm. And I remember him and I having a conversation. If they don't talk to us, they're going to take some of this stuff to the grave with them. Mm-hmm. I put my story out there. Mm-hmm. We made a promise, my cousin / brother, that we're going to be truthful with our kids. Mm-hmm. Whether it is good, bad, or ugly, we wanted them to hear it from us and not have to, when we're gone, figure out what we didn't know, what our parents didn't tell us. And I'm going to ask adults that are out there, people that are listening, mm-hmm. tell your own story. Be honest with you're not helping anybody, and you're definitely not helping yourself by saying to our kids and mm-hmm. to your family members, we don't discuss what happened. I'm not saying go on a platform and tell all your business. I'm not saying go create a show, your family. But you got to be honest with your family. Mm-hmm. I would never want someone to find out after they're fully grown, the parent is gone, that one life you lived was a complete lie.
Yeah.
You understand? That is something that you can't just get past overnight. Mm-hmm. Imagine finding out that something at the age of 50 was not what you 50 years of your life, you thought it was one way.
Talking and then about the healing you don't
and
post.
And then you find out about it at 50. And that brings it right back to the healing that I'm going to say pain that you don't post.
Well, I think, and I say this to a lot of new parents, as well as parents that have, adults as kids, your children deserve to hear your story from you. Because, like, as I stated with my father, because I had the perspective when I had it, it changed how I looked at him.
Yes.
It didn't change what happened, but it changed how I looked at him. Had we had that conversation as if I was a teenager or me going off to college, again, it changes how I look at him. And I don't have all of these years of...
You probably wouldn't even understood it back then.
But
what I'm saying is even... It's not that you're right. There's a possibility that I wouldn't have been able to receive what he was giving, but still it gives me an opportunity to connect with him as my father and see him being vulnerable with sharing that information.
So important.
And then continuing that as I get older, I, as a young man, can now be vulnerable and transparent with other men or other people and share my story. And I don't have to feel that shame that may come with it.
And I think for me, let me go there first. I think for me, what it did, I thank God that my mom was still here. Yeah. And I heard it from her. But imagine if neither one of them would have told me this, and then I hear it from someone else. And so that's why I'm saying it's so important that you be honest, sometime to a fault. Well, I don't even call it to a fault. I let my children know. I've always did because I felt that something was not truthful that was going on in my family. Why aren't they talking about this? Why would they always say, don't go tell them this, don't say this? Yeah. I don't want I don't want anyone to feel something, find out something 50 years later when you've lived over half of your life, and now you have to process that thing in the moment.
Yeah.
So again, that's the stuff you don't post. Go ahead.
So here we go. Traumatizing our children as parents. So I know we're not closing out right now, but as parents, we have to be more transparent, I believe, to our children. Our children need to know who they are as individuals, what's their makeup, what are they built of, and too often we're running around, my father's listening to the show right now. I don't have the pleasure of talking about my father with him not hearing, and he's listening right now. And so my father left when I was 12 years old. And so I had to gain this sense of adulthood, seemed like on my own, become my own man almost, so to speak. My dad was always around, but he wasn't there, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so we have to be more transparent with our children about how we came up as individuals, why
we do the
I do what I do, even when I don't understand it. And to your point, Adonis, sometimes when you're young and you're trying to address adult situations, the quote unquote person that's the adult, 9 times out of 10 is going to tell you that that's a lie, what you're saying.
Yes.
Because they're not going to accept their own faults.
100%.
And so it's not until you actually become an adult yourself when you can call that parent out and say, you lying, because I was right there as a kid, and now this is what I saw.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And so sometimes that's it,
I think that's real good. I love that
you grow up to the place where you can speak
call
those things to your parents.
I love that. I love that you said that. Well, first of all, that you have your father here that you can still speak to. You have that parent here. So that in itself is a testament. And I'm so grateful. And he absolutely loves the show, and he loves his family. I'm going to turn this over
and I love my daddy.
Yes, you do. Yeah. And we're going to turn this over, and we're going to take some of the comments. We got to bring everybody in. Sorry about that. We kind of got a little into ourselves. We want some healing too. Sometimes we need to get ours. There you go. That's when it's real good. Okay, then go ahead.
So we have a couple questions. Start down here. We have Rosemary Fletcher saying, do we always need others to help heal?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
You cannot do it on. Remember, you've been by yourself the whole time while you're broken. So you need to connect with someone. So,
okay. I'd like to, I'm a different kind of specimen sometimes,
We know.
And I know we all need somebody. Everybody needs somebody. But I think we all need ourselves more than we need other people sometimes. We need to want
very true
different for ourselves. When I see myself in a funk, I truly believe that we have the capabilities and we have the abilities to wake up in every morning and decide who we're going to be, how we're going to be.
Okay.
I do believe that.
Okay, jump in there.
Well, I agree with that. You need to be there for yourself. You need to put yourself first. You need to be the one that says, I can heal. But with the others, you need people to support you.
Yes.
Because sometimes you will fail. You can say, I want to change, but climbing that mountain, doing all that can be hard. You need a harness, you need a rope, you need someone to catch you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's all.
You need a guide. You need a guide that show you the way.
You need a guide, and whether that guide is the word of God, but I do believe that I get where you're coming from, Lawrence. I really do. And I agree with where you come from, because it's an individual choice that you have to make. But I disagree when you don't connect to yourself with some support.
See, all I'm saying is I think we put too much emphasis on others outside of ourselves.
Well, I know what you're saying. Everyone has the ability to do the necessarily work, the work that is
transform your thoughts.
100%. Everyone has the capability to do the work that is necessary. The challenge is not everyone has access to the information or the resources that is going to push them in the right direction. They don't have that guide. They don't have whatever. They may have the desire within them to say, I want to do something different. And they don't, whether it be because of the environment that they're in, whether it be because of their knowledge, their experience, whatever, they just don't have that. So if they are not in those communities or connected to people who not only share in that desire for personal development, but they also can share in resources and tools, because we gatekeep a lot.
We do.
That's a challenge.
Let me ask this question then. What if you have those environments? What if you have those people in your life and you still have not made the transformation?
Well,
how long?
It takes two ingredients. Like you got to have the motivation and you got to have the direction. And you can bring motivation to the table, but a lot of times you need direction from somebody else.
100%. It's going to take how long it takes. Some people can hear information and they can take it and run with it today. Some people can hear information, same info, and they start taking their own steps. They start trying things this way. Doesn't work. It takes how long it takes. And that's dependent upon the person.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm sitting up here like I got it all together. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. I say, I know I got some, I almost cussed right there. Ways.
We got a beep for you.
But this live here, so it ain't no beep on the live. So I got a whole lot of issues, but I still understand and still believe the answers still lies within one's self and their ability to tap into, I'm not a religious individual. I am a spiritual individual. I do believe in the spirit of God. I do believe in the spirit of things greater than myself. And so having that belief, I believe that you have the ability to transform your thinking.
But I agree. But I here's where I'm saying, when a person is not, you see,
that's why I brought spirituality.
I get you. But just the spirituality and that growth and that walk grows over time. Okay, it's just like if I am exercising, if I'm working out, and I want to lose weight. It takes a period of time.
You making sense?
It takes a period of time to get there. So if you're saying to someone, and back to, what was her name that asked the question that got this whole conversation going for 30 minutes? Her, Rosemary. Back to Rosemary's question. You need a community. You need someone. I don't necessarily know if I say a community. You need someone to help you along that journey, because when you are really broken, and when I don't care who, we all have that strength, we have that power, but you got to build that up. And so that's why I would recommend.
And the connection that you are developing, that there's a level of experience that person or those group of individuals have that you just don't. So I agree with you, Brother Carter. You have the ability to transform.
I agree with you all also.
But what I would say is, if all your life you've had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with creamy peanut butter and grape jelly, and you've never been exposed to strawberry, you've never been exposed to organic peanut butter, you've never been exposed to peanut butter and jelly with the crust off, you've never been exposed to peanut butter and jelly with a little bit of honey on there, a little bit of
there you go, getting into the cookies.
But that's what I'm saying. There are individuals that have that level of exposure and experience that can impart that into you. When all you knew was grape jelly and creamy.
Period. All righty then. I love that.
Point well spoken.
Now I want a sandwich.
Okay. But we're going to take another question. I know we're running just a tad over, but if we can, because I really want to make sure that we.
But I'm going to put this one thing out here. Brother Carter is not out here advocating against others helping you.
Oh, we know that.
Not advocating against therapy.
Okay.
Not advocating against seeking religions or spiritual guidance.
Okay.
Because those are important. They are very important, and they can play a very tangible part into your life and in your growth. So I'm not speaking against that, but what I'm saying is you have to want something different in your own world.
Yes.
That's the way it started. That's what I'm saying.
It starts with you wanting something different.
Start with you.
I agree. Aaron, you want to come on? Somebody want to give me the...
Yeah, do we want to speed through the rest of the comments?
Yes.
All right. We have from Ray Bryan, what is the ugly side of healing?
Pain, discomfort, rejection. And it's most of the time the rejection is from you. Okay, keep going.
All right. What is your biggest fear as a public person? That's from Albert.
Oh, Albert, let me tell you, I done got past it. I am no longer worried about what you or anyone else thinks of me. And that was who I was when God first put me on this platform. And I'm speaking for me, how other people viewed, how I articulated or didn't articulate something, how I looked, how I sound.
Yeah, my biggest fear was crying in public.
That's
interesting.
I think when you worry about all of that stuff because you've got secrets on the inside, then other people's opinion holds power over you, right?
Yeah.
When you put all your stuff out there and everybody knows, there's nothing anybody can bring because I already owned it. It's already out there.
There you go, 100%.
I don't even know if it's a fear. It's just a cautionary tale, I would say.
No, mine was a fear.
No, I mean for me, I think when you put yourself out there and you have a following, you have a presence, publicly, there are people that tend to esteem you higher than you esteem yourself, or put you on a platform that you never aspired to be on. And then if there is something that takes place, a misstep or whatever, they are quick to pull that platform again that you never aspired to be on from you. So I think for me it would be, I don't even know if I would call it a fear. I hope I would say that people don't esteem me higher than I esteem myself. And I got some high self-esteem.
We know.
So I don't want people to put me or elevate me to a space that I have not elevated myself.
That's right.
Okay, that's good. JB, you want to answer the same one?
I just think that when you can get past worrying about other people's opinion. It doesn't matter if you're a public person or a private person. You value yourself. It doesn't matter.
It is so freeing. Okay, you want to just speed through the questions?
All right, we have Guillermo Watson. Brother Carter, what is your point of view on different healing time for both mental and physical health?
Oh, that's a good question.
He came for you, answer. He called you out.
I understand that. What is okay? Let's read the question again. Brother Carter, what is the point of view on different healing times,
both mental and physical health?
The difference, I don't know if there's a difference. Time, I don't think there's a timeline. I just, like I was speaking earlier, I think he spoke this before I spoke our last subject, that I'm not saying that you can just you can heal overnight. I'm not saying that. It will take time for anyone to go through a process of healing, whatever. If you get wounded, I've had Achilles surgery, okay? And they say that's one of the worst surgeries you can have as an athlete, the Achilles, to rupture the Achilles. It took me over almost a year to heal from that, from that wound, from that. And so it depends on the size of the healing that need to take place. I believe that's how long it's going to take.
That's good. I like that. That's good.
I think it's two things. I think it's the person for sure, because we all have different recovery times based off of our makeup. But I also
thank you, brother. I like that.
I also think that it is the procedure with which you are taking to heal. So for your Achilles, you went through a typical surgery. There was another surgery that I think Aaron Rodgers went through when he tore his Achilles, that sped his process up.
Right.
You have individuals like, Adrian Peterson, when he tore his ACL, that was typically a year-long sentence. He came back in, a couple of months.
Right.
So I think it is definitely the person, but it's also the route with which you take to get that healing.
Yeah.
So from a physical standpoint, if you are doing the physical therapy that they recommend, it could expedite that.
Yeah.
If you don't do the physical therapy, then hey, it's going to prolong it.
And that speaks back to those environments you were speaking about also, the having the resources to go to. These guys have resources they can go to heal a lot faster than the resources I had available for me.
And even on the mental side, if you are actually going to therapy and then doing the things that your therapist has recommended, it could expedite the healing that takes place from a mental standpoint. But if you go to one session and then don't see the therapist again for another year, well,
you're gonna be in the same place.
Or if you don't,
that's key with all of it. You got to do the work.
You got to do the work.
At the end of the day,
look, Shay,
I didn't need all that.
We throwing it right back at. So we are your accountability.
Again, at the end of the day, it comes back to you. As the end of the day.
I know we have ran over, and I absolutely love the show. I hope that everyone has taken something out of it. I'm not gonna go to the guests and have you guys do your closeout.
Thanks for the question, Guillermo.
Guillermo, everybody, all the Carter crew. I want to give a special thanks to the panel, to the guests. Thank y'all so much. JB, thank you for being faithful to the crew. AD, thank you so much for how much you are faithful to the crew and to us Carters. We love you. Brother Carter, the baddest co-host. And I'm telling you, that's my man. That's my man. That's my man. He got my back. And to our amazing team. Thank you guys. You guys are only taking the Love and Victory show up higher and higher. You guys are doing an amazing job. I thank you so much.
Amen.
And again, remember, guys, it's always good to connect yourself with a good crew, a good community. And again, the healing we don't post. Think about it. I didn't post something that that was revealed to me at the age of 50. And but you guys see me walking through it
and
every Saturday.
Have some healing that need to take place that nobody see but you. That's the healing that we don't post.
Yes, but you guys see me, as I was saying, you see me going through my healing every Saturday. I'm telling you guys, it's so refreshing when you can be transparent and you live outside of the fear of how other people view you. It really helped me to really get to a place to forgive, because had I not had this platform and learned how to be okay with me, be okay what I went through, I think I would be a different person at this point to have heard something at 50 years old.
So is it safe to say to you, Miss Valerie,
darling,
that you can say today, bump them kids?
Well, yeah. whether it's kids or situations, because I just want everybody to understand it starts with you, and you have to be okay, and then you have to speak your truth, own your stuff. Until next Saturday, we'll see you.
Let's go Texans.
We love you guys.